The Age of Reason, Common Sense, Thomas Paine, The Birth of Our Nation, Bill of Rights, Constitution. This is what this picture represents, the revolution. If you notice in this picture, there are some that are praying, and there are some that are not. This really depicts to me what's going on in this day and age we live. You've got those that are praying. These are the real believers. And then you got those that are standing around. And then you got that one that's in the pulpit, that's the one talking. You got some listening to the one that's talking from the pulpit. And you've got those that are in prayer, listening for God's voice. This, in my opinion, is where we are today. This is what's going on in this country today. You have those today that are still continuing the narrative, still trying to go along with this Thomas Paine common sense, where we're coming into another revolution, the dialectic, where the thesis, antithesis is going to come together into a clash, where you get your synthesis. So, this age of reason that this country was founded upon was basically compromise. And how many know that compromise or mixture is not a sure foundation? So from the United States of America, from America's inception, it has never had a proper foundation. It has never had a solid foundation. In fact, right from the beginning, America has been divided. And the division in America is only greater now than it was then. Satan's plan is divide and conquer. Where do you see yourself in this picture? This is going to be very important in the days ahead. Do you see yourself being the one that needs to be heard from the pulpit? Do you see yourself as one standing around, listening, seemingly, to the one in the pulpit? Do you see yourself as not even being interested? Do you see yourself as one that is with your hands in your face, not looking around, but talking to God and listening to God? We see there are some in this picture that represent the believer that goes into his closet, not to be seen of men. We see some men, while they're praying with their faces in the air, but then we see this one over to the left with his face in his hands. He's not looking for direction from man. He's not looking for man's opinion. He's not trusting in the age of reason or Thomas Paine's philosophy. He's looking to God. Are you listening? I said he's looking to God. There's always going to be mixture. As long as we're in this world, there's always going to be mixture. There's always going to be compromise. But may we find ourselves like this man, a real man, with his hands covering his face, as the angels, the cherubims, with their wings cover their faces. May we, even though we're not ashamed of ourselves through his righteousness, may we be ashamed of this nation before God. May we be ashamed of those that have rejected God's counsel. May we be ashamed. May we be ashamed. Not of ourselves, but of a nation that has drifted so far from God, following the philosophy of an antichrist figure like Thomas Paine. He was against God. He was against everything about God. Folks, this is what the United States, this is what America was founded upon. The age of reason, common sense, Thomas Paine, philosophy. This is what Benjamin Franklin was up against, was giving into the pressure of. But remember, even as there was warriors, prayer warriors, real believers in that hour, there are real prayer warriors in this hour. Is that you? We can't expect that we're going to change this nation or we're going to change the direction of America. But we can pray that we may be accounted worthy. We can watch and pray that we may be accounted worthy to escape all these things and stand before the Son of Man. We're not going to change the opinions, the philosophies, the direction this country's going in. But we can pray, and we must. What an inspiring picture. This man on his knees, with his face in his hands, talking to God. In earnest. You can tell by the picture. There's an earnest there. There's a fervency. He's not concerned about what everybody else is doing. May we find this position in this hour. God bless you.